Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is it. This is the big one. This is the biggest preview we've done of the season because it's the biggest game of the season. It's a Champions League Cup final in the Premier League to get into the Champions League next season. And look, Leicester are a big warning for Manchester United in this game. I don't care what anybody says they are. They've got nothing to lose. They are basically going to come at us like an angry animal. An angry fox. They're going to come at us and we better not be the chickens. We don't want a fox loose in the chicken hut because it will be a massacre. We've got to be something that fights a fox. A bigger fox. That's what we've got to be in this game because I'll tell you what, I can make you feel good. I can give you stats to make you feel good. I can say, you know what? Leicester have taken 20 points from their last 49. No, that's like shoving mashed potato down somebody's throat until they choke. That's a massive choke. 20 points from 49. That is awful. It is absolutely awful. That's why Leicester are currently in 5th. 20 points from 49. Sionku's not playing. Maddison and Chilwell are not playing. Ricardo Pereira's been injured. There's loads and loads of reasons to be positive. But I'll tell you what. What's more dangerous than a wounded animal? A wounded fox. I'm going to call them foxes because they are. They are a wounded animal. And they've got every reason to just think. If I'm Brendan Rodgers, there's ways I'm approaching this game. I'm going into this game. I'm telling to my players, look, maybe we haven't been good enough. Maybe we have bottled it. But we've got a chance on Sunday at our ground to beat one of the biggest clubs in England and get into the Champions League. It's 90 minutes, everybody. It's 90 minutes now and for the rest of your life. You got to take all your anger, all your pain, all your hate and let it explode and get out there and get at them because I'll tell you what, they don't like it up at look at them against Southampton, look at them against Crystal Palace, look at them against Chelsea, look at them against West Ham. They don't like it. They don't want to fight. We can fight and we can get this put thing. And it's exactly the same as what Bournemouth will be doing and what Villa will be doing and what Watford will try and do. This is your career, this is your reputation, this is beyond football. This is about fight. And I think Leicester are going to come at us, I think they're going to press us, and I think they're going to get at us. And we cannot go into it with what Ollie was saying this morning. Well, you know what, a draw, 1-0, whatever, it's the same thing. We've got to stop Leicester beating us. I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous that we only need a draw. Or if we just beat them 1-0. I think we can beat them, but I think the mentality has got to be so different. Lots and lots to talk about on tonight's show. Lots of interesting stuff about Luke Shaw and his importance to the team. Also how I think we're going to line up for this game. How I think we should approach this game. But let me just show you something that Flex did earlier today. And you can have your thoughts on it. And I'm just going to have a listen to as well.
Look, De Bruyne is a good player.
You better watch your language, Rory. I'm sorry,
De Bruyne is a more talented footballer than Jordan Henderson, but he hasn't had a better season than Jordan Henderson.
Yes, he has. He has individually.
The best player at Liverpool this season has been Mane.
Yeah.
Right, chaps, it's been a really, really good season. But what I need from you all, I need a player of the season, but crucially, I need a flop of the season.
Link is in the video description for that. Flex is on the show as well. Player of the season debate, flop of the season debate. I tweeted what I thought today. Check out the link in the video description to go and watch that and get involved in the debate for that. Who's been your player of the year? Who's been your flop of the year? All I would say is tweet out Pepe's been a flop on Twitter and just for the laugh. Just to see what abuse you'll get. You'll get all sorts. You'll get Munich stuff. You'll get stuff about you being a nonce. You'll get absolutely everything if you call Pepe a flop. But look, well worth the watch, well worth the debate. Check it out. Links in the video description. Who has been your player of the year? Who's been your flop of the year? Well, I'll tell you who will be flop of the year. Manchester United Football Club will be flop of the year if we flop on Sunday. So let's get back into that. How do we approach that game? That's the starting 11. It's the easiest starting 11 to pick. And so much of that 11 is, to me, hinges on Luke Shaw. I want to talk how we're going to approach this game. I want to talk how Leicester are going to approach this game. We've got some transfer news stuff to talk about as well. But, I mean, look, Alison Davies says Pepe is not a flop. I think he's a very expensive flop. I think he's a good player. I think he's at the wrong club. But what I want to say is, when Luke Shaw has started for Manchester United in the Premier League, our win rate is 58%. 58%. We win 58% of our games when Luke Shaw plays, which is a very good average for win ratio. You know, I think Sir Alex Ferguson and Jose Mourinho's win ratio as a manager was in the early 60%. So 58% with Luke Shaw. We only win 46% without Luke Shaw. But most interesting of all In 77% of the games where Luke Shaw hasn't played, we've conceded 1 goal or more. So that shows you that defensively, without Luke Shaw, we ain't as good. Luke Shaw equals top 4. I hope that Luke Shaw is been kept back from the West Ham game to play in this game, because I think he is that symbolic for Manchester United in this game on Sunday. We're dead down that left-hand side. Rashford doesn't look the same with Fosu Mensah or Williams. Neither of those two look as comfortable defensively as Luke Shaw. So I'm really hoping that he's going to play in this game. Because what I think is going to happen, tactically, Brendan Rodgers, normally with Leicester, will keep it tight at the back and look to hit teams on the break with the pace of Vardy. They're not going to do that. They can't do that. They've got no width, they've got no Pereira, and they've got no Chilwell. They're weak down the flanks, which is something we can exploit, which I'll talk about in a moment. But also, if Man United sit deep and Leicester sit deep, there is going to be no counter-attacking football. Brendan Rodgers gets called a bottler because he bottled the league with Liverpool. And Brendan Rodgers gets called a bottler because he's bottled top 4 with Leicester. But I tell you what, a bottle can smash and be a very, very lethal weapon. And I think they are going to be sharp like a broken bottle. And I think they're going to come for us. I don't think they're going to come for us. And I don't think they're going to care about hitting us on the break. I think they're going to press us high up the pitch. They're going to be high energy. And they're going to try and get at us. And that's what I think will happen. Because if I was Brendan Rodgers and I was playing Manchester United, there's 3 things I would do. And maybe I'm giving maybe this sounds like I'm giving Leicester tactics. What I'm actually doing is trying to get into the Manchester United mindset of don't go into this game just thinking a point will do and just play through the motions like we did against West Ham. This ain't going to be that game. This ain't going to be West Ham at Old Trafford where we can dictate it and slow it down. This is going to be 90 minutes where it's just a 90-minute game, where form's out the window. It doesn't matter that Leicester have taken 20 points from 49, and it doesn't matter that we're unbeaten in the league since Bruno came in. It's a one-off game. You very rarely get this. We're privileged in a way. We're just nervous as United fans. We're privileged as football fans that the relegation battle is going to the last day, and the top 4 race is going to the last day. It's going to be ultra exciting for those who are just watching it. It's going to be, as I said, blood pressure on toast for us. It's going to be really, really... I don't care about the relegation battle or what Chelsea are doing. All eyes are going to be on that Leicester game for 90 minutes because it could go either way, and I'll talk about where I think it's going to go in a minute. But I do think that Leicester will just go for it. They'll try something. They've had a whole week. He's had a whole week. And one thing I would say about Leicester is at the start of the season, they weren't in the Europa League. They were having a whole week to prepare, and they won a lot of points between August and Christmas. I think they're going to be high energy and go at us. And Manchester United, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's got to be about, don't try and game manage this game, because I don't think it's going to come down to tactics. I think it's going to come down to who won it most. It's going to be like bloody Rocky IV, Drago against Rocky. I think they're just going to, it's going to be throw some punches. It could end up 3-3. It could end up 4-3. Let's not try and game manage a 0-0. I don't think you're going to see that. If it's 0-0 with 20 minutes to go, Brendan Rodgers will go 3 at the back. He will, because they've got nothing to lose. That's what I'm trying to say. Leicester have got nothing to lose. No one really expects them to beat us because they're on such a bad run of form. But here they are with this opportunity. And what people need to realise as well is Leicester City, if you'd said to Leicester City at the start of this season, you'd have a home game against Manchester United, last game of the season, all you got to do is win to get top 4. They would have talked that. Now, in the circumstances, they probably feel a little bit aggrieved that they've been in the top 4 all season and then they're going to blow it. They've literally been in the top 4 since August and they're going to blow it, potentially. But I think they will just go into this, nothing to lose, go out. And that's why Manchester United can't game manage it. What I would say to Solskjaer is, if you're going to game manage this game, manage it in sections. First 20 minutes, I'd go at them. I would go at them in the first 20 minutes because they're going to come at us. I would go at them. I'd throw the same punches. I'd go, right, let's go gung-ho for the first 20 minutes. I know that sounds odd, but I would, because if they're coming at us and we go at them, I think we can exploit them. They've not got their first choice fullbacks and they've not got their best centre-back. Johnny Evans is good, but Sionku is better. 3 of their back 4 isn't there. You've got to get at them. That's what Manchester United need to do. Attack is the best form of defence sometimes, and in this game, I think if we sit back and keep it compact, we're screwed, because you can't change a momentum. We've seen this with many teams. If United have a bad first half and Leicester are all over us and Ollie goes, shit, we're really under the cosh, we need to attack now, it's very hard to switch that momentum. I think you've got to start off and game manage. And for the first 20 minutes, I would be like, if I was Ollie, I want a goal. I want a goal in that first 20 minutes. I want us ahead in the first 20 minutes. Then we can game manage it a bit because they've got to score twice. But I'd compartmentalise this game. I'd be looking first half an hour, middle half an hour, last half an hour. that's what I would be looking to do. I would not go with a game plan of let's just sit back and tight, because you're going to lose all the momentum. They're going to throw punches. And yeah, we've got the better players, but the better players won't matter against a heartened, devoted, fighting side. We've got to fight. As Gerald Cole once said, you've got to fight for the right. And do we need to play the playoffs or if we finish fourth, says SR. And Maddison is also injured, says Mojo. Yeah, they've got no creativity. They've got no fullbacks. And they've got no centre-back. Four of their best players are not playing. So they're a wounded animal, as I said, but they might have a bite. And I just worry. My biggest fear is, when I look at that team on my left, my biggest fear is that I think United might go with a back five. And if he goes with a back five, I'm going to tell you right now, if he goes with a back five, I'm going to say this right here, right now, and I'll say it when the team news comes out. That is not Manchester United. And that's all I'm going to say. That's not what you do on the last game of the season. Because if you can do a back five to get top four, you can do a back five at Anfield next season, at the Etihad next season. That's not Manchester United. That's not Manchester United. We've got to stop being this back five, hit on the break, defensive side. That's not Manchester United. If you weren't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and you were Mourinho, you'd be hounded out for doing that. He can't do that. That's not why he was at the club for 20 years. He was at the club for 20 years under the greatest manager we've ever had, playing risk-taking football, where he was one of the players we'd chuck on in the last 20 minutes and go four up front. He is fundamentally and intrinsically ingrained in an exciting, risk-taking Manchester United culture. And he, as the manager, has got to deliver that. We cannot go into that game on Sunday defensive with back fives or anything like that, because if he does and we lose, he may as well walk, because nobody will forgive him for that. He started something over these last few weeks. He started something since Bruno came in. I can tell you now, Manchester United are very much in the race to get Jadon Sancho. There are things in place to take us beyond where we've been for the last 6 years, but you've got to start taking the risks. And on Sunday, look, Ollie said himself, I thought we might have to go to Leicester and win well to get top four. That's not the case now. But it should be. It should be. I actually think fortune favours the brave. We know that Leicester City are going to come out and go for us. I can't pump this up anymore. I can't pump it up anymore. Leicester are not going to come into this game and go, oh, let's keep it conservative, try and nick a goal. They're just going to go, you know what? It's do or die. We're going for it. They're going to come at us. They're going to fight for us. They might have a player who's bang average, Pratt, or whatever. But he might have the game of his life because he's just like, you know what, I'm going for it. And if Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, De Gea, they switch off and they have an average performance like they have over the last couple of weeks, then we're going to be in trouble. We need to see quality, bravery and fight from Manchester United. And it has to go. And the only way you're going to get that is if you go to win it. If you go into that game saying, like what Ollie said in the last 20 minutes last night, keep it calm, yeah, let's keep it calm in this game. No, that's not what we can do. We've got to go out and try and win the game. What my score prediction is, I actually think it's going to be like 1-1. I do, but it's not logical. I don't know why I'm going with 1-1. It's just a score I feel, but it's not logical to say 1-1 because I think it's got the potential to be very high scoring, and I think it's got the potential to be one of the weirdest games ever. I mean, look at Liverpool-Chelsea last night. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 5-3 or a 3-3 or something ridiculous. I just think that's why I don't think you can manage the game. Remember West Brom against United? Was it Sir Alex Ferguson's last game? Was it like 4-4 or 5-5? I think we're going to see something like that. I think we're going to see all bets are off. I don't think we're going to see how can Brendan Rodgers tactically approach that game? Let's keep it tight at the back when he's missing 3 of his back 4. He's missing James Maddison. I think they're just going to go out there and say, look, drink lots of Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings, it gives you energy, and for 90 minutes, just run until you drop. And then I'll put another 5 players on and you run until you drop. I think they're just going to get in and they're going to get at us. And Manchester United have got to give as much as they can. I feel Ollie has reverted back to when he got the job full time, changing from free-flowing football to a cautious approach. We need to go for the win, says Mark Buckner. I just agree with you, Mark. I don't see how you can game manage a game against a team that is volatile, against a team that is dangerous. You don't game manage the unknown. Like I say, they're just going to go for it. They're desperate. You can't game manage a desperate side. The only way to hurt a desperate side is that they're not going to be well organised. And if they're not going to be well organised, you bypass that disorganisation and you get at their back four. That's the best way is to attack. The goals we scored against Southampton and the equaliser against West Ham came about because we moved the ball faster and Matic needs to do it, says Mojo. Mark, Liverpool attacked Chelsea so much that even after taking 3 goals, their attack covered up their defensive errors. United need the same, says Tusha. Exactly. We've got to move the ball quick. We've got to press them. I just think we've got to do what they do. I think basically it's about who wants it more, isn't it? I mean, it's the game. Sky have probably already got it copyrighted, but this is the game about who wants it more. You could get it. You could really have a really good advert for this. It's the game who wants it more. Solskjaer and his Manchester United who've come from nowhere, and Brendan Rodgers who had it in their hands, and now he's got one last throw of the dice. Who wants it more, Leicester or Manchester United? And that's what it is. And if Leicester sit back and United want it more, United will devour them. And if United sit back and Leicester want it more, then they might devour us. If we both go at each other, snap, 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 I think it's going to be, for a neutral, I think it's going to be a very interesting game for us. Maybe not so. Pulisic is better than Bruno, says Charlie Ham. I couldn't give a toss, mate. I'm more than happy with Bruno. You're more than happy with Pulisic. Jog on. Can we get Sancho and keep Pogba without Champions League, says Ben McMillan. Well, I'll talk about transfer news in a minute. I'm actually quite enjoying the build-up for this Leicester game. It's quite big. It's sort of, anybody talking about transfers, you're a clown. Get your bloody clown boots on. This game on Sunday dictates our transfer business. It dictates everything. Do you think Ollie's worried to fail in the job and that's why he plays so defensive formations at times? Santino says. I do, Santino. I think that's exactly what he's doing. I think he's worried. I think when he got given the job a year ago, he went defensive. I think over the last couple of weeks, he's got close to what he needs and he's gone a little bit cautious. I think he needs to go back to what his instinct is. His instinct is to be a risk taker. His instinct is to be attacking. And that's, I watched United play again today against West Ham because I wanted to compare it to some of the other games. And I tell you what, I watched us play Brighton. I watched us play West Ham. I watched the highlights of Brighton, to be honest. But Matic was moving the ball 1 touch, 2 touch. Last night, he's moving it 3 touch, 4 touch. That's an instruction. That's an instruction. A player doesn't do that. A player doesn't consciously start using 1 and 2 touch and then go to 3 and 4 touch. That's containment. That's cautious. That's coming from the coach. That's coming from the coaching staff. They told Pogba and Matic to contain the game yesterday and be cautious. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. If we do it on Sunday, we're going to make our odds very, very harsh. And I tell you what, if we do play cautious on Sunday and we don't get top 4, I'll be right at the front of the queue with everybody else having a bloody good moan because the last 4 games have not been good enough. And we've all let it ride because we've been like, the most important thing is that we stay united and we get top 4. And that is absolutely true. It's very important that everybody's behind the team on Sunday. But if we go into that game cautious and we blow it, you don't get a second bite. You've got to go through a whole new season to get Champions League football. Europa League people will tell me, well, look, what makes you think a team that's bottled it in the league is going to be able to do it in a cup competition? It's a second chance, but it's not one I'd be very, very optimistic about. Mark, United need to win, end of, not just for third, but to get the confidence back up for Europa and to get the fans' confidence back, says Lee Taylor. Even Coughlin says, what do you reckon, Mark? I think 2 draws in the 2 big games and big scorelines as well. I think Wolves, Chelsea, Man United, Leicester, I think there's going to be a lot of goals. Ollie out since West Ham. If he plays back 5, he is not the man. It will just be a matter of time he goes. Ollie's decisions game. Hope he proves me wrong, says Depanshu. And Sean Turner, it's a one-off game. We've just got to go for it. We are better than Leicester. I don't want to see us sitting back. And thank you, Mark, for making engaging content and contributing to the total football experience, says Alexander. Thank you, Alexander. Thanks for that. And thanks everyone who's tuning in, because I think ultimately that this is what it's all about. It's all about excitement. Green Grits said something I don't agree with. Fair play to Liverpool with the best team by VAR. Oh, there we go. But I think Sean Turner's right. I think this is what I would say before we move on to the topical stuff. We are a better team than Leicester. Let's not blow this by not showing that. Let's not blow this by playing conservative. Let's not blow this by going with the top 5. Let's not blow this by trying to game manage a game that you can't game manage. I tell you what, you can overthink. You can overthink things, and I think we've seen Ollie do that a little bit this season. He'll overthink a game. He'll play a formation he's not played before. We haven't had a lot of break over the last month. That's absolutely true. And we're not going to have a lot of preparation for this game. Play the formation the players know. Play the 4-1-2-3, whatever you call it. Play that team on the left and tell them to go and play football. Tell that team on the left to go and win the game. Football is about winning. We're not a team that's going to draw. We're not a team that needs to go and be conservative. If the defenders do their job and the midfielders do their job and the attackers do their job, we will beat Leicester. They are 11 for 11. They're not good enough. These are the positives. Their back four is vulnerable. That's the most, Sionku, Chilwell, Pereira, as I said, they're not playing. They're three of their best players. You go after the vulnerability. If you're in a boxing match, right, and the guy you're boxing has got a weak jaw, are you going to keep punching him on the chin? Are you going to keep punching him in the eye? Are you going to keep punching him on the back of the head? Are you going to keep punching him on the chest? You're going to punch his jaw. If you know that one punch to the jaw is going to break it, I mean, you don't want to do that risky, but it's going to win you the fight. You're going to throw it. It's as simple as that, isn't it? It is as simple as that. If you're playing a game of chess and the opposition, all his good things are on the left side of the board, but he's left his king on the own, you're not going to go and fight all his bishops and rooks and everything like that, are you? You're going to go for his king because it's vulnerable. Leicester, go after the weak spot. Leicester's weak spot is their back four. How do you go after a back four? You go on the front foot. You do. And, I don't think Leicester as an attacking side are that good either. So they're going to have to commit men forward, which means they're there to be got at. Bypass their press and be confident and go and win the game. And I tell you what, where it comes away from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and goes back to the players again is, are these players Manchester United players? Have these Manchester United players got the heart? Because that's what it's going to come down to. It comes down to a heart. Have these players got the heart? And I tell you what, I'm somebody as a leader, when I was a captain, when I was a manager and everything like that, fear is a big thing. I've used fear to inspire me personally, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well. Our captain is Harry Maguire. Rightly or wrongly, he is. I think Bruno should be captain and Harry Maguire should just focus on being a Manchester United centre-back. But Harry Maguire is our captain. We spent £80 million on Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is going back to the club that sold him. Does he want to be sat there at full time, crying on the pitch, realising that the club that sold him is in the Champions League and he isn't? That would motivate me to make sure that doesn't happen. If I'm Harry Maguire on the pitch on Sunday, I'm a lion. I'm going to roar. I'm going to shout at everybody in a red shirt, and I'm going to make sure that as a captain, I do absolutely everything. If Pogba starts drifting, I'm grabbing him by the shirt and I'm saying, come on, you're one of the best midfielders in the world, do your business. If Matic starts taking more than 2 touches, I'm going to tell him, do that again, I'm going to boot you into the stand. I'm going to get on to Bruno, I'm going to tell him, work your magic. I'm going to tell Rashford to keep his head up. We've got to see this leadership on the pitch. It can't just be from Ollie, because no great team is just about the manager. You've got to have the leader on the pitch. It's a massive game, and we've got to believe, but I tell you what, there's a lot of fear in me, and I'm sure there's a lot of fear in you. If we bottle this, we're nowhere on Monday. We're nowhere. We're in the Europa League again, praying that we're going to win the Europa League to get in. But you know what? If you win the Europa League, you deserve it. But to bottle this, I don't think you can say, if we don't finish in the top 4, at least we've got the Europa League. Because the mental damage is significant. It's absolutely huge. I don't think there has been a word on Maddison playing either. No, Maddison's definitely not playing. I've no confidence in this team, says Robert O'Malley. No effort, no commitment. We've been here all season, close to Chelsea, then we bottle it. Same story as last year. Well, Robert, you just got to believe. You've got to believe. That's all we've got. In your opinion, is the players or coaching staff bottling? It's so frustrating now, says United Till I Die. I think it's a collective. I think the players feed off the manager and the manager feeds off the players. And I think collectively, they need to be together. Are you nervous about the match, says Jerome? Yeah. I am. I think you're not a United fan if you're not nervous. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to play well. I think we're going to get third. But you know what? I didn't think we wouldn't win the league for 7 years since Sir Alex Ferguson left. So, I thought Andreas Pereira was going to be the next big thing. I've got things wrong. But I think whatever happens, I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a very hard watch on Sunday. Very hard. If we go 1-0 down, can this team deal with it? If it's 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, can this team deal with it? I don't know. That's what worries me. That's why I don't think we don't let those things happen. It's a 90-minute game. Football's a 90-minute game. You can turn a game round very, very quickly, but you can't get momentum back quickly. My personal approach would be game of 2 halves, cliche, whatever you like. First half, we go for it. Half time, let's see where we're at. If it's 0-0 at half-time and they're not causing as many problems, let's assess it. But let's not try and play a 90-minute containment game, because it just takes one mistake, one goal, and then you've got to change your tactics. So I don't like being the team that can draw. I don't like, I actually, you know what? I don't want to say this because it's going to make people feel more nervous. I wish we had to win this game. I do. I think if we had to win this game, we'd win it. I think the fact that they've got to win it, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'd rather us have to win this game, because it's always in the back of your head, a draw. And when you play, it's like when I used to gamble on football. I'd never bet on a draw, because a draw just seems hard to bet on, even though it could well be a draw. I think this is the sort of game that suits Fred or Scott instead of Matic. It would be total embarrassment if we don't win because boring Spurs beat them. They played quite well against Spurs, and I honestly think the players will step up to the plate Sunday and do it. I have faith. We've done it so well to get where we are, to throw it away, says Sean Turner. They must be allowed to do it, Sean. That's the big thing. They must be allowed to do it, because what if they're told to contain the game and play back with a back five? Hi Mark, would you have Jorginho at United if he leaves Chelsea this summer? I do like him, but it will never happen, Gavin. And Tushar says, Mark, we need to attack their flanks as Ricardo and Chilwell are not playing. I wish he will be back. Shaw is pivotal to our success and we're missing him. Yeah, if you've tuned in a little bit late, Manchester United without Luke Shaw concede one or more in 77% of their games, which is huge. And also, we've got a win percentage of 58% with Shaw, and it drops all the way down to 46% without him. Luke Shaw did drive into training today. Now, if he's got a bad ankle, he drove into training. I think Luke Shaw plays on Sunday. I think we're going to win. I think Luke Shaw equals top four. I love the turnaround of Luke Shaw. I've always liked Luke Shaw. Some people have said stupid things as to why I like Luke Shaw. I've always liked him as a footballer. I love Martial, I love Rashford, I love Bruno, and I do like Luke Shaw. I don't put him in the same category as those three because I think they're genuine top-class talents. I just think Luke Shaw's a very good left-back, and I think he's the best left-back we've got. And I don't think people understand the job he does, and I always did. I knew that he was defensively very good, and people just don't give him credit for that. I know that he does so much running backwards and forward, and people don't give him credit for that. And I also know that he provides balance on the left-hand side, an outlet on the left-hand side that Matic, Pogba, Rashford, Martial, Bruno always know they've got. They know if they give it to Luke Shaw, he ain't going to do anything stupid. He's not going to take on three players. He's going to get the ball, he's going to pass it, simple, and then he's going to move. And that creates space. He's a massive part of this team. And I'm glad that people are starting to realise that. Maguire has played second most minutes of any player in Europe in all competitions. 168 more minutes, breaks United all-time record for a season. Overplaying equals mistakes. Yeah, Duncan, I don't see that record is anything to be happy about. I think it's an idiot stat. If anybody starts tweeting out, oh, Harry's played so many games, I think it's stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid how much time he's played. That's a record for him. It's not a record for me. It's not a record for you. Wow, Harry Maguire's played the most minutes. I think that's just exposes stupidity that we've had to play a player that much. That's not a record to pat you back on the back with, is it? Don't bloody dare jinx it again, says Adam Barath. Mate, if you're an idiot who believes my predictions jinx a United result, then you're an idiot. I mean, look, the only people who are going to mess this game up are the players and the manager. Our fate is in their hands, as it always is. Me saying we're going to win 4-0 and definitely finish third means nothing. I don't have any power on anything, and neither do you. It's sad, but it's true. We're totally in the hands of these players. They're the ones who've got our fate in their hands. People call me mental when I'd say I'd pick Shaw as left back for England over Chilwell, says Mason Webb. Well, Chilwell's not a very good fullback defensively. He's not very good at all. If we don't win, then the players risk not playing with Sancho and really taking a step forward next season for the first time post Sir Alex, says Andy Turner. Luke Shaw is the most underrated player going, says Jack Mitten. And if we can't win and Chelsea win and lose Europa League, do you think Ollie gets the sack? Manchester G. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be manager of Manchester United next year. If we lose to Leicester and if we don't win the Europa League, Ollie will still be manager. He will not be sacked this summer. I can categorically tell you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be manager of Manchester United no matter what. So you better hope that we win. Mark, Chelsea being linked to Dean Henderson. Your thoughts on that, says Ajmel. Well, look, Bruno for captain next season or not, says Salah Ahmed. I would have Bruno as captain. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new, by the way. A little bit of update on news. I know Chelsea are interested in Henderson. We won't do that deal. Inter Milan want to extend Alexis Sanchez's loan move, which I don't think Manchester United will do. There's more stories about Sancho again today, and it's all along the same lines of I hope you've watched the interview I did this afternoon with Raphael Honigstein, who is BT Sports and The Athletic German transfer expert as well. Obviously, we had Kristen Falk on at the start of the week. Different type of interview with Raphael, a little bit more in depth. But ultimately, the message about Jadon Sancho is always the same. Manchester United have got to lower the price with Dortmund. And whether that happens or not, depends on whether we get Champions League football. There's so much money involved in that. Hi Mark, I want to say I love your streams and they are going well. You just don't have good opinions and United will lose on Sunday, says Alison Davies. But you're an Arsenal fan, Alison. So you've exposed yourself as an Arsenal fan. What you think is bad football opinion is actually good opinion. You're just an Arsenal fan and you're used to crap tactics and crap running of your football club, which you think is good because you're loyal to that. Shaw has a better defensive mindset positioning than Williams. It keeps the midfield from having to cover for others on the left side, says Brandon Reisner. And Jerome T. Green, I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like Ollie will go for a 1-0. I just have a bad feeling he will. He needs to go out and attack. There's 9 result combinations this Sunday in the 2 games, and only 2 of them sees as the top 4. It's harder to mess up than to do it, says Sean Turner. It is. It's in our hands. I see no centre-backs linked to United. Any news, says SR. And isn't it too early to give the captaincy to Bruno, says Salah Ahmed. We gave it to Harry Maguire after 4 months. Bruno's been here for 6. Answered that question, didn't I? There's a talk that the Manchester United season next season. I mean, I actually don't care about this. What I'm about to tell you, I'm just telling you. I don't care about anything apart from getting past Leicester on Sunday. I've got to be honest with you. Jadon Sancho, whatever. I just want Sunday is all that matters to me. But if United get to the latter stages of the Europa League, there is talk that we will see United get a delayed start to the season out of fairness to give us a little bit of a longer break. So we may not start back the same time as everybody else. And also, I saw something tonight about Director of Football again. I don't know why that would be being mentioned. It's in the press that Manchester United haven't really had a chance to look for a Director of Football because of COVID, but it is still part of their plans. I don't know why that would be back there because, I mean, we desperately need a Director of Football. I don't know why they'd put that back into the press. Maybe it's a bit of a PR spin. I don't know why, though. So hopefully there's some truth in it. But it's not a Director of Football to be totally in control of transfers. It's to have a say in that and everything else. And to me, that's not what a Director of Footballer is anyway. So I think that this Director of Football could end up being a Rio Ferdinand or a Darren Fletcher, somebody who's got no clue about being a Director of Football, no experience about being a Director of Football, who effectively fills a role that is still basically a puppet for the people who are doing the business anyway. What you want is a Director of Football who's actually a proven Director of Football. So I will still hold judgment on that. I personally think United will bring a Director of Football in to say that they've got a Director of Football, but that Director of Football will be somebody who is easily manipulated by the board so that they can keep control of what they're doing already. And what better way to do that than to bring in an ex-legend who's got no experience that makes everyone go, yay, we've got an ex-legend here. But I hope I'm wrong on that. I just, maybe I'm a bit cynical. I am cynical when it comes to Director of Football because I actually don't think United want a Director of Football. Do you want to go on a call and discuss football, says Alison Davies? No, phone up AFTV and go on there because I get bored of talking about Arsenal and I think everybody else does. You infiltrate other channels when you've got your own and it's getting a little bit boring now. Michael Scari, welcome, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Mark, for now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is okay, but watching Trent Alexander-Arnold last night, I do feel the final evolution of this team is to turn into an elite machine. We need a better right-back, says Trent saying. Yeah, but you know what? I hate to say this, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is elite. I mean, his ball delivery is like Beckham. Free kicks, crosses. There's not many right-backs who can do that. I mean, defensively, I don't think he's amazing, but going forward, he is. Mark, are we going to do split screen watch along for both Man United and Chelsea games as you've mentioned that on That's Football, says Tushar. Well, no, I'm not. This is Manchester United. I'm not doing a split watch along for Chelsea Wolves. I might split my screen and have it in the corner somewhere or have it, but it's Manchester United Leicester. I couldn't give 2 shits about Chelsea and Wolves. Realistically, if we don't lose to Leicester, we're in the top 4. So why do I care about Chelsea Wolves? If you're telling me that you want me to keep an eye on Chelsea Wolves so that if Leicester beat us and Wolves beat Chelsea, we're in the top 4. Well, I tell you what, mate, I don't even know if I can celebrate that. I'm not sure I can celebrate getting top 4 because when Leicester beat us and Wolves beat Chelsea. I mean, look, we will celebrate it, but I do want to get top 4 by any means, but imagine that. We get beat by Leicester and then we get top 4 still because Chelsea lose again. I mean, you're going to take it, but are you confident on Ollie for next season in the Champions League, says Jerome T. Green? Let's get there first. Mark, are we... Yeah, done that one. Per Eric Klassen, De Gea needs to be aware of the space behind our centre defences because of Jamie Vardy. I don't think we're going to play a high line anyway, mate. You know, when you say that to me and Jamie Vardy and the ball over the top, I'm convinced we're going to play a back 5 or a deep line. I think we're going to play conservative and cautious football. I think it's a mistake. I hope I'm going to be wrong. But I think we're going to set up to stop Leicester. We're going to set up to stop a half Leicester side. That's half Leicester's side. And I still think we're going to play cautious, which I think is a mistake. I hope I'm wrong. Mark, I posted it a bit ago, but you missed it. On Pogba penalty, he protected his head. EPL want to prevent head injuries. Would they prefer concussions, as Michael Fitty? Well, that's the contradiction, isn't it? You know, people are telling, you know, even Harry Maguire's sort of saying he knows he should have took it in the face. And yet, we've got concussion protocols. Regan Wilson says, AFTV are deluded. You've created the best fan channel, Mark, says Regan Wilson. Thank you. And Kinky says, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to be on the touchline screaming at the players. It's the last game of the season. And welcome to Sanj, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for joining the Members Club if you have done, by the way. We don't do Patreon or anything like that, so you can click the join button and get a little badge next to your name like Flex47 and Smutty. So thank you very much for that. And just going back to that previous comment from Kinky, he said that Ollie needs to be screaming and shouting on the touchline. I don't think we're going to see that, but the manager is in charge. If he tells those players to go out and play deep and cautious and get a draw, then the players are going to do that because that's what they're being told to do. If the players go out and play attacking football and try and win the game because the manager's told them to do that, that's what they're going to do. You remember, you've got to look at tactics, right? We've got players that can beat Leicester. You've got Martial, Greenwood, Rashford, Pogba, Bruno. We can beat Leicester. Will they be allowed and told to go and beat Leicester, or will they be told to be contain Leicester and be cautious? That's the decision, and only one man's got that decision, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. For me, it's a defining moment. If we get Champions League football, you're in the Champions League, you've done something that, you know, you've been trying to do for a couple of years, the players believe in themselves, you take the next step. It's about the next step. If we don't do it, we take a step backwards. It's a defining moment for Solskjaer. I think taking a step backwards is being cautious. I think taking a step forward is doing what Manchester United do. Going on the front foot, risk-taking. And remember, this is not a strong Leicester side. They've taken 20 points from 49. They're missing half their players. Go and finish them off. Put them out of their misery. But if we sit back and give them an inch, they'll take a yard. Stephen Whitlow, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for that. Look, we are back tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the Manchester United News Show. We've got the Premier League show tomorrow afternoon as well. Lots going on. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all the moderators. I wish the game was kicking off now. We've still got 3 days until this game happens. Alec Williams says, I picked the worst day to wear my Bruno t-shirt yesterday. Remember, you can get your t-shirts now. They do ship worldwide. Martial, Rashford, Bruno, there's loads of others. They're actually underneath the videos on YouTube now, so you can just click and get them worldwide. They ship. Thank you everyone for that. I'm more scared than excited about this match, says Dejan. Look, we're going to be all in it together on the watch-along. That's all I can say, but I can't give any guarantees. We've just got to go out. I think the most important thing is we've got to go and win. Let's not be that team that tries and does what we did against West Ham. Let's be Manchester United. Let's be something we can be proud of. Let's go and beat them. We're good enough to beat them. Let's go and beat them. Let's not go into it cautious. Let's not go into it for a draw. Let's go and bloody beat them, because I don't want to have regrets on Sunday night. I don't want us to lose 1-0 in the last minute because of a dodgy penalty and we go, you know what, we sat back all game, we tried to get a 0-0 and they got a lucky goal. We'll only have ourselves to blame. I always say this when you go into an interview or anything like that, because I've helped people coaching for interviews into previous jobs, and I always say to them, the one thing I'll say, and I can't help, it doesn't help you prepare in relation to what you've got to prepare to answer questions, but it's a mindset. When you go into your interview, pretend in your mind that you've been in that interview before and you messed it up, and this is your second chance. It doesn't work for everybody, but it always works for me. I would get into a mindset before my interview or a test or anything like that I'd messed it up and this was my second chance. because it always made me go in there focused, and I wouldn't mess it up, because I couldn't then have that mindset afterward. Oh, I've messed it up again. Well, you might get that, but you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is that go in there with the mindset that this is your chance, and you might not get another chance. So take your chance. Go on the front foot. Go and beat them. Because, as I said on Sunday night, if we fail by being conservative, he'll wish he'd had a go. Have a bloody go. That's what this club's all about. Have a bloody go. That's what we want. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the morning. And check out the 888 video with Flex and the PFA of the Year award as well, with Robbie and the others. But look, let's hope we get it done. Next career mode is tomorrow, Salah Ahmed, 2:30.